Hello and welcome to another episode of National Divorce Talk Raw. Actually, this is the Yes California Calexit Congress, an associated concept and show. We're going to talk about how people showed that they didn't want to be associated with American culture, how Californians supported secession, and how Californians recognized California culture is different from American culture, all recently, right before midterms. And what's the point of this? All of these attitudes equal California nationalism. There have been people who, other than me, were having conversations online. I'm going to show you some of those, and you're going to see how people who I had absolutely no contact with are talking about the same kind of things we talk about all the time here. In fact, for the screen print for this video, you can see the exact comments from the people. That's why we made that the cover for this video. You can see people saying these sorts of things that we didn't tell them to say and that we didn't really have contact with, and they kind of said on their own. So let me just show you, because what this equals is continued support for Calexit and continued proof that the market is still there. That's what this is all about. The market is still there. So let me show you. But first, all right, let's get right to the evidence. Let me show you for yourself. You can make up your own mind. For me, this was pretty clear that these were people acting out California nationalism on their own who are not connected to the movement, which proves the thing that we've been saying for a very long time. The market is still there. Okay, let's take a look at this one. Okay, I'll make sure that shows. So here's Calexit movement. Here's a regular Californian talking about Calexit. This one's a little bit old, but I kind of liked it.
Yes, sir. Hey, what's up, guys? We're in California protesting for humans. I'm pro-human. I'm pro-California. I believe Washington, D.C. does not represent California. You think of California, you think of peace and happiness and love, not anything that Donald Trump stands for. Washington, D.C. does not represent us, and me and a couple thousand millennials are out here to protest today. I hope you guys can support us in our movement. I love Norway. Love you guys.
So I know that was taken around the time of Donald Trump, but the fact is that we're going into midterms. And the fact is that the Republican Party is the Trump party. And the fact is that it's very likely that the Republicans are going to win. So this sentiment from this Californian about how California is the opposite of Trump values is relevant again. That's why I showed you. Trump values are going to win the election in midterms. We're going to have this debate I just showed you all over again. Let's take another look real quick. Here's some more evidence. Make sure that shows. Okay. This is from our friends over at Calexit Movement, Free California Now. So this is on Instagram, and this person, Natalie Jacoby 1. The U.S. has to get rid of one state. Which one do you pick? There was almost 2,000 likes for that. Let me see if we can see the tweets here. If not, I can show you elsewhere. Oh, okay. So this is Daniel Santoro. He says California could survive as a nation. Here's William. He also says California. After a couple of years of the nation missing out on all the money California brings, every red state would be begging for California to save them. He got 318 likes for that. Basically, he's saying California could survive as a separate nation. Here's another person. I think Cali would do just fine if they left the U.S. T, Psycho Bunny, another Californian, 14 likes, talking about California's independent nation. Here's Kevin Putzier, vote blue to save democracy. California, where I would move immediately before separation. It's the only state where I can see standing on its own. Independent from America. Here's another person, Jerry Davidson, Jerry Day 03111523. California without a doubt. California, Oregon, Washington, not the brightest student. Warrior says Forrest, if California were a country, it'd have the 5th largest economy. Another person alluding to California being independent. California, because I live from California and would like to leave the Union. It's number 4 now. California is a state that could actually secede and be just fine. So those are comments from people right now, and they're in the screen grab for this video. We don't know those people. Those were Californians saying, yeah, California could survive independent. I would like to secede from America. I've never met those people, and they're not in the movement. So why are they saying things that we've been talking about? And how come we've had no contact with them, and yet they're saying the exact same things we were talking about? Well, maybe it's because of this. Maybe it's because of this right here. Let me make sure that showed. How a vote would go for Calexit. So this is an essay I have up. If you go how a vote for Calexit would go from 2019, just type in Marcus Ruiz Evans, how a vote for Calexit would go. What I want to do is show you this map. Now, this was the map. Okay, it's not doing it. All right. Well, this is the map that showed the actual number of members in the Calexit movement who were part of Yes California in 2017. So you can see the actual number of members in different areas. Now, if California had 1/3 of the people support secession, as Reuters Ipsos said, then we calculated out the numbers for every place that we had memberships. And what we did was we looked at what is 1/3 of the population of the total area that we know we have members in. And this is the number of actual supporters. And this is what I wanted you to see. This is the market that we are saying still exists. 80,000 in Eureka, 500,000 in Mendocino, 30,000 in Santa Rosa, 3.5 million in San Francisco, 161,000 in Merced, 609,000 in Sacramento, 48,000 in Reno, 135,000 in Yuba City, 61,000 in Red Bluff. There's even 11,000 in Shasta, 38,000 at the UC Merced campus, 500,000 in Fresno, where I live, which everybody says is super conservative. 500,000 people in Fresno back the idea of seceding. 74,000 in Bakersfield, 120,000 in the Santa Cruz area. 325,000 in Santa Barbara, 3.8 million, almost 4 million in Los Angeles, 500,000 in Orange County, 1.1 million in San Diego, 96,000 in Palm Springs, 94,000 in San Bernardino, 300,000 in Lancaster. So when we look at this, this is the map showing us roughly how many members in all the cities where Yes California had membership if we looked at 1/3 of the population. And the reason we did that is multiple surveys said 1/3 of California wanted to secede. If that's true, this is how many supporters are in it. There's almost 4 million people in Los Angeles and 3.5 million people in the San Francisco Bay Area who still believe in Calexit. If our theory that the market is still there and that 1/3 of California still want this still exists. And that's why we bring up this. These people are talking about Calexit. We don't know them. How come they're saying the same thing? Maybe because this is true. These people are still all there. Again, we compared where we knew we had membership in those light blue areas to the idea of 1/3 of the population in 2017 when Donald Trump was there. And these are the numbers that you get. This is how big the market is. But this is proof that the market still exists. And here's a little bit more proof. Let me show you. One second.
They're sure. Do you form any kind of opinion about them or no?
Yes, 100%. Yes, definitely.
And what is that?
Republican? Yeah, probably like a Trumpy. They'd be the only ones like brave enough to wear it in public.
Brave enough to wear the American flag in
Yeah,
public?
like proud to wear it. Yeah.
Wearing an American flag on their shirt, do you racist?
Yes. Yeah, it's very racist. Patriotic for me. I think it's like more of like a lot of people like correlate it with like racism and stuff like that. It could be someone that's super patriotic, and usually I think that it's a little too much.
Too much?
Too much. I mean, like America, like I just walk away. We come from Kansas, so we are around that a lot.
So you guys are around a lot of American flags?
Yeah.
when you see a person with an American flag on their shirt, do you form any kind of opinion about them or no?
Yes, 100%. Yes, definitely.
And what is that?
Republican.
So this is Venice Beach. That is Venice Beach, and almost all these people are minorities, brown skin. So why is it he goes to Venice Beach in Los Angeles and he talks to a bunch of minorities and none of them want to have anything to do with America? Think about that. Why is it that this guy goes to a major destination in California and seemingly can't find anybody who likes the American flag? And why are all those people minorities? And why did that happen recently? I don't know those people. We didn't talk to them. They're not in the movement. How come they're talking about the same things that we say? And how come the people in the Twitter feed that we don't know and had no contact with are also saying the same things that we say? Kind of weird. Let me show you one more thing. Doesn't like that. Okay, let's see if it likes this. Here's those comments up close so you can see them a little bit better. Here's all the comments. All this is recently. I don't know these people. So why are they talking about California could secede? Now, this comment was not part of the discussion. It was a different one. Sorry for the cursing. This is a guy who's talking about how California culture isn't like American culture, and he's making a joke. Eating granola isn't California. Not eating granola because the oats are GMO and the honey isn't local. That's California. So this is a guy from California who's talking to Americans and talking about how our culture is very unique and different from American culture. The rest of these, which is our point, we don't know him. How come he's talking about how American culture and California culture are so different from each other? Why are all these people talking about seceding? And why is this person speaking about to people who just don't want to have anything to do with the American flag? Well, basically, it's like this. You saw Californians who supported secession that we have no contact with. You saw Californians recognize California culture is different from American culture, that little black box comment, that we have no contact with him. And you saw Californians who don't want to be associated with American culture. Again, we don't know these people and they're not in the movement. All of these are attitudes for California nationalism. So why are all these Californians displaying attitudes for California nationalism when we have no contact with them? Unless market's still there. 1/3 of California wanted secession. Millions of people in metro areas. They never left and they never stopped believing in that. Now, perhaps we made mistakes and perhaps we aren't supposed to be the ones to get us over the finish line. But the idea that this idea is dumb and nobody believes in it is erroneous. The concepts are there. They just don't get the proper media attention. Let me show you that map one more time. Whoops. Yeah. There it is. So those are the numbers. That's how big the movement is. It's 1/3. These people are still there. That's why they keep saying things that back up the movement, even if they're not tied to the official movement. Reuters said 32%. UC Berkeley said 32%, and Stanford said 27%, about 1/3, according to 3 different polls. And these are the numbers you get. Again, 80,000 in Eureka, 500,000 in Mendocino, 3.5 million in San Francisco, 600,000 in Sacramento, 500,000 in Fresno, 100,000 in Santa Maria, 300,000 in Santa Barbara, 4 million in Los Angeles, 500,000 in Orange County, 1 million in San Diego, 100,000 in San Bernardino, 100,000 in Palm Springs, 300,000 in Lancaster, and 74,000 even in conservative Bakersfield that typically doesn't like anything California does and talks trash on us. 74,000 people in conservative Bakersfield still back this idea. And that's the point. Pretty much straightforward. Why are these people doing these things if we've had no contact with them and all these things equal this attitude? What explanation is there except for the market's still there? And this is key. We're going into midterms. The market is still there. when midterms go to Republicans and Californians freak out and call for Calexit. We're showing you these videos so that you can see we knew this was going to come. And this is why, because we were looking at the ground truthing evidence before we got to that point. Thank you, and share this video with everybody.